we are here, I might as well. So they say, is there a way we can collaborate and have some clinics that angle in on the African, East African immigrant population?
Right.
Because and then they say, Anna, they say, Anna, the Hispanic community has done it.
Right, they have.
And we also have our own medics, we have our own healthcare professionals. Is there a way? So maybe just to throw it out there, because healthcare is universal, which means that if such a city or a county considered it, that would be an area of collaboration that would be easy to create a framework.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because then it would benefit the city, whatever that might come up, and at the same time back here, it's easy to map it because there's a need.
Right.
Which I'm very, very sure that the state and also in conjunction with the city can work together and say, okay, let's come up and see if we can come up with that.
I like that. A great deal. Well, and we should, we could get
So
the.
there was a time when ICHS was considering coming further away. I don't know if you recall that.
I do.
There was a conversation with Tim
Yeah.
Johnson. So is there like a health clinic that you can think of outside of poverty or those medical facilities that can establish, that can come to federal ranges here? Because we as a city are not the healthcare business.
Right.
However, we're it's a conversation to have with the
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
because then that's where the community comes in, because
Yeah.
we actually right now we have quite a good number of medics, trained and fully, we have registered nurses. In other words, what is missing, or the support that they would be looking at, is the infrastructure. So just like the infrastructure that helps or supports the Hispanic community be able to run under CIMA community clinics.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the part.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's just thinking around the framework,
Yeah.
and then working together with your city and their city or the county, whatever level, and saying, okay, so maybe because healthcare is universal, we need it here and we need it, whether it's Nairobi or it's Kenya or whatever it is. I'm just thinking about, because I know one of the considerations that you mentioned is the compatibility.
Right.
Or something that you have
Yes.
where you have that partnership
Yes.
where you are exchanging ideas with
Yes.
us or
Yeah.
building something on. Otherwise, it just be, hey,
Mm.
hello, I love you, bye. Bye.
What part of the country were you from?
Or in Kenya, the same city, Murang'a. Yes.
And what's
It's
the
a small town.
Right. Okay. What size you think? What population? What do you think?
Yes, the population of that city is about 100,000, almost like here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but now the entire county,
Yeah.
it falls under a county of about 1 million
Wow.
population.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yes. And the weather, of course, is almost similar. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Because
always think Africa's like burning hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're around the equator, and then there's that elevation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the weather is almost, in fact, almost similar like this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But the outer, the region surrounding the town is definitely more into agriculture. Yeah, coffee, tea, such.
Do you have I should know this, but do you have a parliamentary form of government where you've got a prime minister, or do you have a direct elected president?
It is like America. We
Yeah.
have presidential system
Yeah.
of government. We have a president who has the executive, and then of course we have a parliament comprising of various political parties, and of course the judiciary.
And what's your political party?
Currently I'm a member of the ruling party, which is called the Jubilee. Yeah. But that is from a legal point of view. From a de facto point of view, Jubilee has split up into two. So I have shifted into another
Why is it?
political
Are you able to
formation.
say why is it? What are the factions about? Why did it split? What's the idea?
What happened?
Yeah.
We We are yet to fully turn into an issue-based political system. But what happens after the 2017 general elections? We usually have two major political parties. So my party is the ruling one, and then you have an opposition party, which their strengths are usually almost equal. So there was, after the election, the president went and did what we call a handshake, like a collaboration. He decided to enter into some political collaboration with the leader of the opposition party. Yeah, and we called it a political handshake. But the effect of that was to alienate the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, who was the one who was supposed to come and after the current president goes home, take over the reins of Jubilee Party. So when the president made a rapprochement with the opposition, deputy president was sidelined. Some of us followed the deputy president.
Right.
And we have now formed a separate political party, which is called UDA, United Democratic Alliance.
There you go.
Yeah. So us are those who support the deputy president. Oh, where is please get the gifts. Yeah. So yeah. So we formed a political party, but the president currently is supporting the leader of the opposition to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a couple of, we've had, in the United States, I'm very much a student of history, and, there have been certain situations, probably most notably, the most recent was in 1992, 30 years ago, where you had the emergence of that new party, it was Ross Perot, and the emergence, and it was what's that? Yeah, it was a third-party run. Was it?
Perot.
Yeah, Perot. Right, in 1992, and then it was about almost 80 years before that, in the presidential election of 1912. Everybody knows who Teddy Roosevelt is, right? And Teddy Roosevelt famously stepped away to let his friend be president for 4 years, and when he came back, then he went to Africa. He went to South America, almost died in South America. And when he came back, he thought his friend would give him the nomination again, and that was not the case. So that was William Howard Taft.
Yeah.
And Taft, who I happen to share a birthday with, said, no, former Mr. President, I want to stay president. So famously, Teddy Roosevelt formed what they called the Bull Moose Party. And that was the first time in really history that a sitting U.S. president came in third place at the polls. But that's how Woodrow Wilson became president, because the Republican Party split, and the Democratic Party with Woodrow Wilson came in. So, but we've had a very stable partisan structure since then. Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president, but 4 years before he was elected in 1860, the Republicans formed, and the Whigs sort of just disappeared. So it is, but since 1860, we've had just two major political parties. You had some other parties in the early 1896 and 1900, but for the most part, it's been Democrat and Republican. So it is very interesting. Do you know what your numbers are with the new party, or what your percentage of the population is?
Yeah, the various credible opinion polls seems to suggest we are almost 50-50, but our party a little bit popular.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're 50-50 among the split Jubilee. So half Jubilee here, half Jubilee, or is your half of the Jubilee 50% of the entire population?
Entire population.
Oh, interesting.
So the Jubilee that leans government,
Yeah.
plus now the opposition, support is almost 50. Our party support is almost 50. It is not really something new. Yeah. When you study the effect of presidential systems vis-a-vis parliamentary systems, you find presidential systems tends to create what we call a two-party split.
Right, right,
Yeah.
naturally.
Naturally.
When
So
is-
when you look at parliamentary system, it creates a multi-party system.
Correct, yes. Just like the Knesset in Israel, Great Britain, India, that's, that you do, and it's a real fracturing. In fact, actually, I watched very carefully about how the Israelis put together 61 votes in their Knesset, and really all the alliances that it take, and then that's where Netanyahu is extremely deft at putting together his very, very narrow but consistent majorities. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But finally, after this last stretch, he finally ran out of real estate, and ran out of votes. So it is interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when is the president's term up?
August. So
Wow.
we are really
Same
campaigning.
time as usual?
Yes, everyone is going home. So we are campaigning. We are in the last 3 months to the elections.
Wow.
So we are really campaigning.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know whether we'll win. Oh, I am vying to become the governor.
That's great. Good for you.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm not sure we're going to get there in time to help out with the election.
No, if you are just to tell the people, yes, I'm going to consider pairing with my county, I win the election. Don't worry, I'm joking.
I know. Well, I think actually, what's really, I think the rule